Welcome everyone, it's Renee, the Practical Shaman here. I'm just setting up. And I don't know if you feel like me, but I have been running. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some time to come home. And it never fails. Hey Julie and Jenny. It never fails that I do this at 5 o'clock, and I always want to do it outside. You can see my fountain and in front of my altar, and it's always traffic time, of course. And the thing is that I always get the winds always says, well, we live in a noisy world, so how do we become present to ourselves when all of this noise is going around, all the winds are blowing? And so it never fails. What I think we're going and where we're going is not ever where we're going and never where we end up, for sure. And that's because this process is really wind driven. A lot of people will be watching this later. Thank you. Thanks for that vote of support. So I'm going to put this down, and down it went. Lucky I live in the desert where it's been nothing to burn right now. So I'm out in my yard, and you can see my grapefruits. I have grapefruits and oranges and tangerines on my altar. It's really kind of exciting. You know, really to fill your altar with the fruits of the season. Hey Terry, how are you? Glad you're here. Terry's going to be one of our guardians, as is Heather Huff and Bridget Hopkins and Carrie Wanamaker. They're each going to hold a direction as we go here, and you might find yourself tending to go to one direction or the other. Oh, hey Ellen, nice to see you here. Ellen's like an old dear friend from, I don't know, when I was just barely 30, I guess, not even 20, in my 20s. So nice to see you all here. I got this I'm just letting people gather. Hey Heather, I'm letting people gather here for a minute before we start with, some of the directions and stuff like that. I got the most beautiful email today, or this week. One of my friends from elementary school, and we're going way back here, like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, wrote me, and she was having this scare of a health scare. And I guess my spirit went to her one night recently. I mean, this is somebody, we've reconnected on Facebook, those, how everyone's reconnected on Facebook kind of things. And she said that I came to her the night before she was going to get her results from the doctor, and I told her everything is going to be okay. It's really great. Have you had that experience? Anyone here give me a high heart or something like that, when you had that experience where you weren't even aware that you were over there doing some work with people, and they write you and tell you about these results? I think this is the work that we're doing right now. Is we're holding up a lot of space on behalf of a lot of people. Hey Laura and Becky and Lisa's here. I mean, we have like a full house here. If I miss you, I'm glad you're here joining us. And I want to get centered before we start this today. I have the wind whistle, and for those of you who don't have a wind whistle and who want a wind whistle, tomorrow, once you've signed up for the I Am Symposium, fire tenders get the lowest price of wind whistles anywhere. And then also there's a special tomorrow on the gift page. I'll go over the logistics of the symposium and what this fire tending means, because a lot of you are here first time. We have over 200 fire tenders this year. Woo, woo! We've been doing this, and the fire tender part has just grown, and to have 200 fire tenders around the world holding space is quite miraculous. And so for the fire tenders and other people who are here, we're going to have special events for you all next week. But let's get centered. Hey Nancy, nice to see you. All right, let me talk about the wind breath. For those of you who have the wind whistle and who have been running around crazily like me, we could, oh, that's great when your mother sees you. That's a beautiful story, Elena. so we're gonna blow our wind whistle and get ourselves centered. And so what we do in the wind clan, for those of you who are new, who've never done this before, is I guess I'm like right in the lead. Can everyone hear me well? Hey, Carrie, thank you for coming. Carrie's one of the guardians. Heather's here, she's a guardian. We have 4 guardians here with us, and they're gonna help you hold space during the next coming period. And we're gonna talk about what holding space is, but it's time to get everyone here and centered. So I'm gonna blow the wind whistle, and we have something called the wind breath, where you take in like 7 breaths in. Hold it for about 7. Some of you are breathers, so you can do it longer. And then breathe it out through your wind whistle, or if you don't have a wind whistle, you can go. Just really get that breath out. And then we're going to then hold empty for 7, because one of the things about the solstice is becoming empty. It's about going to that cavern inside and really sitting with that emptiness. All right, so then the first breath, we're gonna really connect ourselves with the center of the earth, that molten lava, that magnetic pole that holds us. And then on the next wind breath, we are going to bring it all the way in, and we're gonna connect with Hale, the wind goddess from Northern Europe, who is really working with us this December. It was a conscious choice to work with her. However, last night, if you saw those pictures from when I was setting up this altar, first of all, the light was, we did if you aren't in the Become a Wind Alchemist class, I suggest you join us, because we did this Bring Down the Moon to a 4-pillar light ceremony. And so that light was shining on the altar last night. And then when I went to move, I saw she can be considered the hag. Her shape was in there. So you can look down the Wind Clan page and see those pictures, but she is here in full force for us. So we're gonna merge with Hale. And later in this opening, to end the opening, we're actually gonna take a journey, and we're going to set our community altar right outside her cave in Germany, in our mind's visual eyes, because this is where the maidens, and this is where people go to when they want to birth a new idea, they want to give birth to a human being or anything like that. And so in the Become a Wind Alchemist class, there's maybe 150, 160 students at this point. They went into the cave and they layered into the cave as far as they want. And when I was doing the Inipi ceremony, when I went on the mountain for 3 days and 3 nights, there was a group of people, fire tenders, who held sacred space. And so this group that's coming together, we're holding sacred space for all of the community worldwide who will be listening tomorrow, who will be listening to all the presentations from now until January 5th. And actually the guardians are gonna come on, they're gonna do drumming with you at night. One of my special spiritual teachers is coming on Monday night at 8 p.m. So throughout the week, fire tenders, you are gonna have special things to keep this fire going. And on that one page, you'll see that there's all of people share their altars. So I shared my altar last night, and hey Scott, it's nice to see those first altars, but you should see how they change and develop over the time. And then we actually make a video of all the altars that have been presented here and shared with me through email and stuff like that at the end. Hey Nick. Nick is one of when I talk about doing my hembleche up on the mountain, and that people sit while you're up there and hold fire 24/7. So what's great about our community holding space for these next days is that there's people from around the world, and so these fires will be lit, whether they're candles or however you want to do it. But let's get, I think we have a lot of people here now. Let's do our wind breath first. All right, so we're going to connect in, and let's close your eyes, stand up if you want, bend your knees, and breathe in to the count of 7. Hold it, breathe it out through your coccyx bone into the earth. The next one will merge with Hale on the X breath, and that third one, hey Sandy, nice to see you here. Maybe she'll play us some flute music one night this week, is that we're going to create a big energy bubble around this space for all of the people who are tending fire, all of the people who are doing that moment of silence. There's some friends of mine in a Vedic tradition that are having a New Year's fire. We are going to connect our fires, our lights with these people all over the world on that third wind breath. All right, close your eyes and let's start. Release it into the belly of the mother. Stay empty. Breathe in. This time we're going to breathe in the energy of Hale, the goddess, the wind goddess that goes by many, many names. Hale, come to us here. Take us on your wild hunt. Stay empty. Breathe in. Hold it. And on this last wind breath out, if you have your wind whistles, your breath, let's blow a big energy bubble around all the fire tenders all over the world. Everybody who's holding sacred space during these holy days. Okay. Welcome. So I'm just going to go over a little bit about what the I am, the winter solstice, the solstice I am is all about. And, you know, just a few housekeeping things. And then we're going to actually just do the ceremony where we're actually going to do a journey. I have my drum out here and we're going to go set up a fire outside of Hale's cave where we're going to, well, first we're going to have to ask her if we have permission to be there. And we're all going to join in a circle so that we hold space together. We don't hold space separately. We might all be in our own houses, but we are holding sacred space as a group. And one thing I know from doing this year after year is that even though this is an act of service to other people that we're holding space for, we benefit 100 times. People tell me about spontaneous healings, all kinds of things that happen during the sacred time together. All right. So this is the opening fire tenders gathering, and the symposium actually opens tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and Sandra Ingerman will be doing an opening ceremony. And she's really looking forward to this. So I'm sure that it's going to be a magical carpet ride into a very long day of speakers, because we're going from 10 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow to 6 p.m. And we have Sandra Ingerman, Deborah Koff-Chapin is going to be doing a live touch drawing. We have Carol Woodliff, Lori Morrison, Meg Beeler, Dory Coate, Itzhak Berry, Christina Pratt, Lisa Weichel, Jan Ingle Smith, Cindy Lindsay Rail, Maya Toll, Jorge Luis Delgado, who's going to give a message from the summer solstice, and Evelyn Rysdyk. Oh, and then we're going to have a closing ceremony at 5:30 with Linda Fitch, and that's only a closing of that day because the fun is going to continue. As I said, there's going to be something special going on this wall every single day, whether it's me hosting a fire, the Guardians hosting a fire. If you have something you want to offer, like I saw the flute player here, maybe she wants to come on and do a flute playing. But on Monday, Lucia is going to be doing a talk at 8 p.m. Kathleen McKinley is going to be doing a sacred card reading. Hank Wesselman on the 31st is going to be doing a spirit canoe to take out the old decade to prepare us for the new one. And then my dear friend Lori Lothian is going to give us a new decade astrology reading. So doesn't that sound fun? Some housekeeping things. So if clearly most of you have been registered here. Oh yeah, you're thinking this is fun. I've got a lot of shamanic lineup kind of thing going on here. So if you've registered at the imsymposium.com, you will get the email tomorrow with the complete lineup. It will also take you over to the I Am Speakers page, which is thepracticalshaman.com/IM-speakers. And there you're going to be able to watch, if you're not Facebook, you want to be off Facebook, you're going to be able to watch these as they go live throughout the day. And it will also take you to all the speakers' gifts. Okay, how do you keep a fire burning? A lot of you say, well, I'm going away. Hey, Natalie, is it Natalia? I can't say it, Natalia Hodges. Welcome. You can be new here because you're already a good friend. Look at, we have little bugs flying by. So what does it mean to fire tend? It means to have an intention of heart that you're holding space for a sacred circle that's going on globally, and it goes from now, the 20th, until the 5th of January, where I do a closing fire circle here in my yard. And during this time, the 5th is the Epiphany. It's when we come out from that cave. And during this time, you might not be able to keep the candle burning all the time, but one of the Become a Wind Alchemist people told us yesterday that there's an app now to keep that candle burning. Hey TJ, welcome. And the other thing is you can light a candle. I buy the little votive candles. I keep the glass year after year, and I just put them in the dishwasher, and I light a votive candle every day. That works. I got a big candle lit out here. You can get those, if you're not feeling so comfortable about fire, you can get those battery operated candles. You can turn a light on your altar. You know, there's two things you need. You need an altar, and as you can see, I built this outdoor altar. I can't show it to you right now because I've got a light balancing on the top of the iPad here. However, I did I did take pictures last night and show you the altar I was building. Oh, that's nice. Nick says he's known me since 2006. We've come a long, long way. We've like really grown. We used to do the lodge together out here on the Torres Martinez Reservation, and he met my spiritual teacher, Becky, who was from Rosebud Reservation, and she took him on as a spiritual brother and actually gave him a lot of her sacred items to hold dear upon her passing. And I carry her brother, her tanupa, and he carries a lot of her feathers and things like that. She was a very special teacher for me. And Nick, I hold you very dearly, which you know. So what we're gonna do is, so you're gonna keep a light burning from now on. And again, the biggest part is that you have an altar. And an altar, if you look down, I mean, an altar could be 4 rocks in your yard. It's somewhere where you're going to put your sacred intention to every single day for the length of this. And you're going to, you know, have a light burning when you can. Then you're gonna say a prayer every day for people, that, you know, that they're getting the experience out of this I Am Symposium that they need in order to grow the corn that they want to grow in 2020. We are at the end of a decade, and this has been a really rocky road. A lot of the transitioning stuff has already started to happen, and we're in it. So as a collective, all of these people here, we get to decide how we want to hold space for the next decade. And what better way to start by finishing out the last decade, becoming a fire tender here, and joining us on this journey. Now, some people say I hate Facebook, so go over to thepracticalshaman.com, the speakers page, and watch it there. And if you want to go off social media for a few days, by all means, go off social media. There is no right way. Still, what makes this event special is the support that you receive in this group, listening to other people share. When you share, sharing the experience makes it really extra special. Okay? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to call in the directions, And then we're going to take a journey with the drum to Halday's Cave. I'm going to go right from the directions to the journey. So hopefully you can remember this. It's going to be, I'll give you a couple of prompts, but we're going to actually imagine ourselves in our mind's eye in one of our favorite places in nature, and then we are going to connect with a group around this burning fire, and we're going to offer the fire something we want to give up right now that we think will keep us from holding as pure of heart space that we need. We'll put that into the fire, we'll join with our brothers and sisters at the fire, and then we'll be off to hold space for the opening ceremony for tomorrow. So we're holding space tonight that's going to give the power a boost so that when Sandra starts tomorrow at 10 a.m., we're already got a sacred circle that's mighty, powerful, and strong. Again, I'm going to use my wind whistle. And since I'm facing north, I'm going to start in the north because it's the north for us. It's the solstice. We're going in. And then I'm going to go around to the east and then the south and bring up the sunlight for those people who are south of the equator. And then we're going to head over to the west. It's funny, I pulled up my broken wind whistle off the altar. And this is a good reminder that things aren't always perfect. Like this leaf in my eye, the lighting, you can see them. Nick 2006, put a few miles onto this body, and that things aren't perfect, and we are entering into this agreement that we're going to hold and tend to the fire as the best we can. That's all we do, is the best we can. And if that means you light a fire once or a candle once and you don't do it again, maybe that was the best you could do. But maybe if we push it just a little bit further, we put something in that fire that we don't need, we can do it 2 nights, 3 nights, for the whole time. And I just want to say one thing before I start. I'm going to be watching who's participating on this fire, and I'm going to be watching who shares and how much you show up and how you show up for other people. And because I have one more spot to give away in the Become a Wind Alchemist class. We designed the course that we knew some people were going to hop right in, get ready to go into that cave, but some of you weren't going to be ready to join till January. So I saved one spot. So may the best heart, open fire tender win this, because we welcome you into the wind clan. Call to the north. Okay, I invite you to close your eyes. And we're going to go to the beat of the drum. And when I call you back, it'll be like this. So we've got to come back from the fire maybe just so we can have dinner with our family and friends or be here. But this is going to be an invitation for you to go in and out of circular sacred time during the next time that we're together to tend these fires in this altar. Are we ready? Close your eyes. I invite you to find yourself somewhere you really love in nature. fire and moving around clockwise. Make room for all the brothers and sisters who are joining us here. It'll keep us warm. That was beautiful, everyone. Great job. What the fire was like, that circle was so tight and everyone was standing so close, and I really look forward to you sharing all your comments and all your feedback about this opening fire and inviting your friends and your family to join you here. And light those candles, light those light bulbs, you know, rearrange your altar, give it some cookies, give it some fruit, And we'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. right here in the Wind Clan, or at the Practical Shaman website, where you can start to grab those gifts. And then think about, if you feel really called to Hale, join me for the Become a Wind Alchemist group. It's amazing work, and I'm like here to share the wind. So I hope you can join us, and thank you and blessings to you. And I look forward to seeing you all day tomorrow right here, and all through next week and part of the week after. So blessings to you all.